Look around the room you are in right now. Your eyes dart across the furniture, the walls, the screen in front of you. You feel like you are taking it all in. A continuous, high-definition feed of reality. But you aren't. In fact, right now, your brain is actively deleting roughly 90% of the visual information hitting your retinas. You don't notice the gaps. You don't feel the blind spots. Because the moment your brain deletes a piece of reality, it instantly paints over the whole with a guess. You think you are seeing the world. You are actually just watching your brain's best guess of the world. And for most of human history, that guess was the only thing keeping you alive. To understand why your brain deletes so much, you have to look at the hardware. The human eye is a biological miracle. Each of your retinas contains about 120 million photoreceptors. These are the cells that catch light and turn it into electrical signals. 120 million data points every single second. If your brain actually processed all of that information, you would be completely paralyzed. The optic nerve, which acts as the cable connecting your eye to your brain, can only carry about 1 million fibers. Right there at the back of your eye, 120 million signals are crushed down into 1 million. Your brain has already deleted 99% of the raw data before it even leaves your skull. But the filtering doesn't stop there. Those 1 million signals travel down the optic nerve and hit a structure deep in the center of your brain called the lateral geniculate nucleus. This is the brain's ultimate bouncer. It sits at the gateway to your visual cortex, and its only job is to decide what gets through and what gets thrown out. This process is called sensory gating, and it is ruthless. The lateral geniculate nucleus suppresses almost everything that's static, predictable, or irrelevant to your immediate survival. It deletes the feeling of your clothes against your skin. It deletes the hum of the refrigerator. And it deletes the vast majority of the visual clutter in your peripheral vision. What makes it through to your conscious awareness is only the stuff that changes. The stuff that moves. The stuff that might eat you or the stuff you might eat. But here is what is truly strange. Your brain doesn't just delete raw data. It deletes entire objects that you are looking directly at. In the 1990s, psychologists Daniel Simons and Christopher Chabris ran an experiment that broke our understanding of human perception. They showed participants a video of two teams, one wearing white shirts, one wearing black, passing a basketball around. The viewers were told to count the number of passes made by the team in white. It is a simple task. It requires focus. But while the viewers were staring at the screen, counting the passes, a person in a full-body gorilla suit walked into the center of the frame. The gorilla faced the camera, thumped its chest, and then walked off the other side. It was on screen for 9 seconds. When the researchers asked the viewers if they saw anything unusual, about 50% of them said no. They were completely blind to the gorilla. Their eyes saw it. The light hit their retinas. The signal traveled down the optic nerve, but their brain deleted it. Because the gorilla wasn't part of the task, the brain's filtering system simply refused to render it into conscious reality. This is called inattentional blindness. And it proves something deeply unsettling. You do not see what is there. You only see what you are looking for. But why would evolution build a system that makes us blind to giant gorillas? Why would your brain actively hide reality from you? The answer goes back to the environment where your brain was built. For 300,000 years, your ancestors lived in a world where information was not just abundant, it was lethal. Imagine walking through the tall grass of the African savanna. If your brain tried to process every single blade of grass, every shifting shadow, every insect buzzing in the air, Your neural circuits would overload in milliseconds. You would freeze. You would be paralyzed by the sheer volume of data. And in the ancestral environment, freezing for even a second meant you became lunch. The brain evolved to be a prediction machine, not a camera. It uses past experiences to build a highly compressed, low-resolution model of the world, and it only updates that model when something breaks the pattern. If a lion is hiding in the grass moves differently. The pattern breaks. The brain instantly dumps the filter and floods your consciousness with the threat. But if the grass is just blowing in the wind, the brain deletes the visual noise to save energy. Your brain deletes 90% of what you see because processing reality is metabolically expensive. Your brain makes up 2% of your body weight, but it consumes 20% of your daily calories. Deleting data is how it keeps you from starving. But there is a darker layer to this, and it might be the most disturbing part of all. Because this deletion mechanism doesn't just apply to the present moment. It applies to your past as well. You assume your memories are like files stored in a cabinet. You pull one out and you watch the event play back. But that is a lie. Every time you remember something, your brain reconstructs it from scratch. And because your brain only ever stored a compressed, deleted version of the event in the first place, your memory is full of holes. When you try to recall a conversation, or a drive home, or an argument, your brain realizes the data is missing. So it does the exact same thing it does with the gorilla. It paints over the hole with a guess. You fill in the gaps with what you think should have happened, or what you felt was happening. Over time, the guesses become the memory. The deleted data is gone forever. You are not remembering the past. You are remembering the last time you remembered it. You are playing a game of evolutionary telephone with your own life, and your brain is the one changing the words. This brings us to the modern consequence. We live in a world that is fundamentally incompatible with the brain we were given. For 300,000 years, the deletion filter protected us from the overwhelming chaos of the natural world. But today we have built an artificial world designed to hack that exact filter. Every app on your phone, every notification, every breaking news banner is engineered to trigger the brain's threat detection system. They are designed to look like the predator in the grass. Your brain thinks it is scanning for survival threats, but it is actually just scrolling through a feed of digital noise. And because your brain is constantly deleting the static to focus on the threats, you are living in a state of chronic low-grade sensory overload. You are exhausted, you are anxious, you cannot focus, not because you are weak, but because your ancient hardware is being forced to process 1,000,000 years worth of novelty in a single afternoon. You are trapped in a dark, silent skull. The world you experience every day is not reality. It is a highly edited, heavily censored, user-friendly simulation generated by a 3-pound lump of fat to keep you from going insane. You don't see the world as it is. You see the world as you are. And 90% of it is just a ghost painted over by a brain that is terrified of the dark.